Boys, girls, here's fun for you. It's a secret. We can't tell you now, but be sure to visit your Rio Grande gasoline dealer early in September. He has a big surprise for you, and it's free. Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars. Special attention all Los Angeles County Sheriff's cars. Broadcast 91. Trace down all blonde girls missing in Los Angeles during the past 2 months. Information is needed to assist in identification of a torso found today in the Los Angeles River. That's all. Roll some questions.
When you hear the scream of the siren and police cars go tearing past, let it remind you that more police cars use Rio Grande cracked gasoline than any other brand. Fire! Fire! When the alarm sounds, when the huge fire trucks race through the streets, they are using Rio Grande cracked, the gasoline that powers more fire engines than any other brand. There goes the ambulance, a case of life or death, speed, power at any cost. And Rio Grande cracked gasoline is used by ambulances more than any other brand. In fact, wherever it is sold, Rio Grande cracked gasoline powers more emergency equipment of every kind than any other gasoline. Why? Because only with cracked gasoline can modern high-compression engines develop their greatest speed and power. Your car, too, will give police car performance with Rio Grande cracked gasoline. And now we are pleased to present Eugene Biscaluz, Sheriff of Los Angeles County.
Good evening, friends. If I were to be asked what is the most important requisite for a detective, I think I should answer attention to detail. It is upon the apparently unimportant little things that many a case has hinged. Those slight facts which the untrained eye will pass by as of no value, a slight smudge upon a coat which might be blood, the faint impression of a heel in the ground, the almost imperceptible mannerism of the speech of a suspect. From such things does important evidence often develop. Our men are trained never to overlook such details. When they investigate a case, nothing is too small nor insignificant to be considered unimportant. In the case you are about to hear, the criminal was diabolically clever. Our problem before we could even begin searching for the murderer was to discover the identity of the victim. The entire case depended from a single human hair, the only clue we had. And from that hair, we developed a case which resulted in the necessary identification, and from that, the eventual capture and conviction of the murderer.
One afternoon in early April a few years ago, a young man walking along the bed of the Los Angeles River near Linwood Gardens makes a gruesome discovery which sets into motion the extremely complicated machinery of modern criminology when it faces an almost clueless crime. A few hours after the discovery, Captain William Bright, head of the county homicide detail, is in conference with Sheriff Biscaluz.
Well, Sheriff, I have a nice insoluble mystery I'm working on.
There isn't any such thing.
Of course you're right. But this one is tough.
What is it?
A couple of hours ago, a woman's torso was found in the Los Angeles riverbed near Linwood Gardens. Head, arms, and legs had been cut away from the body. Whoever committed the murder wanted to make sure there could be no identification.
Apparently. Any scars, identifying marks?
No, there's just one clue.
What's that?
A single hair from the right armpit. A blonde hair.
Well, that's better than nothing.
According to Gompert, the technician, the woman was between 20 and 30 years of age. The torso had apparently been buried in the river sands. And this last rain had washed it downstream, so there's no telling where it was originally buried. I've got a detail of men out in the riverbed right now searching for the missing members of the body.
Good.
Been to the morgue myself, looking at the remains. Didn't learn much from them, though. As I see it, our first problem is to get an identification. And we've only got a single hair to work on.
Which isn't going to be easy.
Well, I'll get the boys from the newspapers and ask their help. This is one case where we need plenty of publicity. Well, that's the story, boys. As far as we've investigated. I've got a detail of men out in the riverbed now looking for the missing parts and also searching for a murder weapon.
Was the dame beautiful, Bill?
Go down to the morgue and take a look. Your guess is as good as mine.
Makes a better story if we call her young and beautiful.
Call her anything you like and play the story up as big as you can. There's only one thing I want you to do for me.
Yeah, what's that, Bill?
Play up a request for relatives of missing blonde women to communicate with this office. And whenever possible, to send in samples of the missing women's hair.
Why?
What's the hair for?
Well, this single hair we found on the torso is the only clue we have. And I'm convinced we can get a reasonable identification from that one hair.
What's in the paper tonight, Herbert?
Oh, nothing. Very dull. Baseball season open. Stock market's up again. That's about all.
Herbert, you're keeping something from me.
Why should I keep anything from you?
Let me see that paper. Oh, Herbert, look. They found a girl's body, a blonde girl. Herbert, do you suppose Louise?
What's the idea? What are you packing your bags for?
Did you see tonight's papers?
Sure, what about it?
They found an unidentified body of a blonde in the riverbed.
Well, so what?
So this. My mother and Dad have worried plenty about me since I ran away with you. But now they'll think I'm dead. I'm going home.
Yeah, but Stella...
Listen, I'm going back and face them. You can come with me or not, but I'm not going to cause them any more worry.
Hours after the evening papers carry the request for aid from the citizens, samples of blonde hair begin to pour into the sheriff's office. Frenzied parents throng to the morgue and try to identify the gruesome section of the mystery corpse. More than 300 samples of blonde hair are compared by criminologist Gompert with the hair from the torso. In 2 weeks, during which false clues are vainly pursued, 50 runaway girls are found by authorities or returned to their homes of their own volition. Day after day, the newspapers, cooperating to the limit, run the repeated request for information regarding missing women. The imagination of the public is caught. Thousands of citizens turn amateur detective and swamp the sheriff's office with the reports of their findings. But as the weeks pass, that one identifying hair does not appear. Captain Bright and Captain Stensland will recapitulate their problem.
Well, to begin with, we've got the hair. That's a very important clue. Then the measurements of the body give us an idea of medium height.
The coroner reports that the dissection was done by someone familiar with anatomy.
Yes, that's right.
Any reports of persons missing from doctors' families?
Only 3, and all of them brunettes. Just look at this file. You'd think everyone in Los Angeles County was missing. Yes?
Sorry to disturb you, Captain, but there's a rather distressed citizen out here to see you. Something about the missing person case. I've tried to get him to talk, but he says he can't say a word to anybody but the boss.
Well, you better take him up to Gene's office. Or maybe the governor would be better, but he might know something at that. You better send him in.
Yes, sir.
All right. The captain can see you now. Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir.
That'll do, Barnes. Well, what can I do for you?
Is you sure you was the head man?
Well, I am for this department, yes.
Well, can I see you alone, please?
Don't worry about Captain Stensland here. He can hear anything you can tell me. Now, what's your name?
Elisha Jonesport, Your Honor. I mean, sir.
Where do you live?
Well, I just moved the other day. I used to live on East 45th, but now... Wait just a second. I got that new number wrote down.
Well, I guess we can do without that for the present. What's troubling you?
Well, sir, I overheard 2 fellas in the street talking something about them having found the body of an of a woman.
Well, that's right. How does that affect you?
Did you come here to tell us that you killed somebody?
Oh, Lord, no. I didn't say that. I never touched nobody. Honest, I didn't. You don't think I'd come here if I'd done something like that, do you?
How do we know you're not just a smart criminal trying to pull the wool over our eyes?
Oh, I ain't. I swear I ain't. Now, look here, Mr. Captain. I never came here to fool nobody, no how. All I want is find out about this here woman.
All right, Jonesport, don't get excited. I see now that I was mistaken. You couldn't be a murderer.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Probably a bank robber.
What's that?
Never mind. Go ahead with your story.
Well, Mr. Captain, it's like this. Rose Rose had to go over to Phoenix for a couple of weeks to visit her sister.
Rose? Who's Rose?
My fiancée. I mean, she was my fiancée. You see, she had to go to Phoenix, and while she was away, Tom Austin wanted me to go out with him one night. And I goes along. I didn't know he was going to have girls along, too. And after I get there, they was with him. What could I do?
You were helpless.
That's right. Mr. Other Captain, I was helpless. And Rose found out about it when she got back. And now she disappeared. And I can't find no place, sir. No, sir. And when I heard about some girl being found, I thought maybe when she was heartbroken, she'd gone out with some other guy, and he done killed her or something. Oh, tell me. I got a picture right here. Does the gal they found look anything like this? Here, don't you want to see?
Well, I'm afraid that won't be necessary, Jonesport. You see, the girl couldn't be your Rose. She was a blonde girl.
Oh, a blonde girl?
Sorry, we can't help you.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, thank you, sir.
You might give Rose's description to the fellow at the desk out there as you go by. We'll see if we can locate her.
That would be good of you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Poor guy. If I'd known he was that sensitive, I wouldn't have kidded him.
He does seem to have taken it hard.
Yeah, but that's not getting the case out. Yes? What's this? More distressed citizens looking for Roses?
No, sir. Another missing report that just came in. I thought you'd be interested.
Yeah, let's see it. Now, that'll do, thanks. What is this? Mrs. Laura B. Sutton reported missing to police department. A missing persons detail has checked it and found... Hey, wait a minute. She's a blonde. She had a physician friend. Oh, but this wouldn't be the one. She was over 30.
But remember, the coroner reported that he believed the age to be near 30. And after all, he can't be very exact.
Well, this report tallies pretty close. Closer than any of the others.
Any hair samples sent in?
No. What do you say we go out to this address? I've got a hunch this might be a lead.
Accompanied by a deputy sheriff, Captains Bright and Stensland drive to Mrs. Sutton's address. As they ring the doorbell, they receive a surprise.
Doesn't seem to be anyone at home.
I'll say there isn't. Look in this window. There's no furniture in the joint.
Well, now... Hey, have you got a skeleton key?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get this door open.
This one won't do. Nor this one.
How about that one there?
We'll see. Yeah, that's it.
So all the furniture's been moved out. Wonder where the bedroom is.
Looks like this might be it.
No hairbrush to get combings from. Oh, Eddie.
Yes, sir?
Look around the kitchen cupboards and see if you can find a broom or something.
Yes, sir.
Not a stick of furniture left. Anything about that in the report you got from the brother of Mrs. Sutton?
Not a thing.
And look here, on the threshold between the bedroom and the bathroom.
What?
A dark stain.
Blood?
Maybe.
You got your testing chemicals with you?
Yes.
Now, you better try it out.
I couldn't find the broom, Captain, but here's an old carpet sweeper that was laying out back.
No, that's even better. Let me have it. Thanks. Now, you better look around all these rooms and see if you can pick up any fingerprints or other clues.
Yes, sir.
Are you coming with a blood test, Stanton?
Give me time.
Okay. I'm going to see what sort of evidence this carpet sweeper will collect from the floor of my lady's boudoir.
A few hours later, F.B. Gompert, the sheriff's office technician, makes a report to Captains Bright and Stensland.
Well, Gompert?
I've examined the hairs you picked up in the carpet sweeper.
Yes, what did you find?
And the capillary canal in the hair found on the victim and the hairs you showed me are distinct and similar. All of the characteristics of the hairs are similar, and my conclusion is that the hairs you obtained and the single one from the victim come from the same person.
Good.
And how about the stain I tested? Do you check with me?
Yes, one of my assistants subjected the sliver of wood you brought in to a laboratory test. We found the stain to have been made by human blood.
And we have a reasonable basis for assuming that our victim is Mrs. Laura B. Sutton.
Yes, but this blood and hair identification still wouldn't be sufficient to hang anyone for a murder.
True enough, but at least it's progress.
Right. And our next step is to find out everything we can about this mysterious Mrs. Sutton. Get on that right away, Stensland.
Yes, sir.
Carefully, investigating officers delve into Mrs. Sutton's past. From 100 individuals, they gather scraps of information, elusive pieces in a jigsaw puzzle which slowly takes form, proves nothing, seems hopeless. Since they are still uncertain as to the identity of their victim, and nothing they discover strengthens their conviction that they are on the right track. And then, one Saturday afternoon, 6 weeks after the body had been found, 2 small boys are playing in the Los Angeles riverbed near Compton.
Heck, Slim, there ain't enough water down here to go wading.
No, I guess you're right, Tom. Gee, you'd only get your feet wet.
What'll we do then?
Let's dig for gold, huh?
Dig for gold? Oh, there ain't no gold around here.
Sure there is. There's lots of gold in California. And they always find it in riverbeds. That's what my geography book says.
My geography book don't say nothing about it.
Well, that's 'cause you're still in A5. When you get into B6 like I am, then you'll read all about it.
Well, where is the gold?
Any place along here. We just dig in the sand, and when we find something that shines, then that's gold.
Yeah?
Sure. Here, grab one of these sharp sticks and we'll start digging.
Okay. How much gold do you think we'll find, Slim?
Oh, you can't tell. Maybe $1 million worth. Maybe 5.
Gee, that'd be enough to get a bicycle, wouldn't it?
Almost.
Hey, Slim, I hit something already. Maybe it's a big hunk of gold.
Let's see.
Sure, look at it shine.
Looks like gold, all right. Stuck in a rock. Come on, dig like the dickens.
Slim, this isn't a rock.
What is it?
It's a skull, Slim, with a gold tooth in it.
Gee.
I bet it's a pirate skull, Slim.
Maybe.
Let's put it on a stick and have a pirate parade.
Sure. And we can scare all the kids.
Sure we can. Here's a stick here. Come on. Oh, 14 men on a dead man's chest.
Yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum.
Come on, let's cut back to Mrs. Green's and we'll go down the corner where the rest of the kids are.
All right.
14
men on a dead man's chest. Yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum. Merciful heavens. What have you boys got on that stick? A pirate skull. You put that thing down this minute.
Why, it's ours. We found it.
You boys put that down or I'll call the police.
14 men on a dead man's chest. Yo-ho-ho, and a bottle of rum.
Mrs. Green calls the sheriff's office, and deputies quickly intercept the two boys and take their grinning skull away from them. A few hours later, Captain Bright and Dr. Wagner, the county autopsy surgeon, examine the grisly find in the county morgue.
I've already made a chart of the teeth and noted the dental work.
Good. If you let me have copies, I'll have my men check with every dentist in town.
The copies will be ready in a few minutes. While you're waiting, I'd like to call your attention to a very interesting thing about this head.
Yes?
I'm convinced, Captain, that this head belongs on the unidentified torso we've had in here for 6 weeks.
You are? Why?
Because this skull fits perfectly on our headless torso.
It does?
Yes, sir. And the marks made by the cutting instruments match on the top vertebra of the torso and on the skull.
In that case, we may not have to canvass all the dentists in Los Angeles. We'll begin with the dentist who worked on the teeth of Mrs. Laura Sutton.
From Mrs. Sutton's brother, Captain Bright discovers the name of her dentist. And from this dentist, he receives a positive identification of the bridge work in the mysterious skull as work he had done for Mrs. Sutton. While deputies intensify their search for the other missing members of Mrs. Sutton's body, Stensland and Bright plan their next move.
Well, Stensland, point one of our job has been accomplished. We've identified the body.
Right. Now all we've got to do is find the murderer.
Looks like we've got a pretty nice list of suspects to start on. Let's begin with this taxi driver. What's his name?
Walter Black. He roomed above Mrs. Sutton's garage.
You questioned him. Do you think there was anything between them?
I don't know. He seemed to have a pretty clear conscience.
He last saw her on March 28th, 6 days before the body was found. We'd better put him down for a little more questioning.
Okay.
Who's next?
This Dr. Westlake. He claims to have a bill of sale for Mrs. Sutton's furniture.
Oh, yes. He's the guy who moved all her furniture out of the house after she disappeared. That looks bad on the face of it. Woman disappears, man empties house. Mark him suspect.
Right.
And there's Mrs. Sutton's sister. And... Oh, yes, we better talk to Sutton himself. According to information I received, Mrs. Sutton was dunning him for alimony.
Very well. Now we've got a nice piece of work cut out for ourselves. Several suspects, but I wonder about the motive.
Mrs. Martin, you are the sister of Mrs. Laura B. Sutton, are you not?
I am.
You know where your sister is?
I do not.
We have reason to believe that your sister was murdered.
Do you?
You knew she was missing, did you not?
No, I didn't.
Mrs. Martin, did you murder your sister?
Of course not.
Did Mr. Sutton murder her?
Oh, I'm sure he wouldn't do that.
Have you any idea who did it?
You might talk to Walter Black, that taxi driver who lived near her.
You mean lived over the garage?
Well, have it any way you like, but talk to Walter Black. He was sweet on her. He thought he was going to marry her someday, the poor thing.
I tell you it ain't so. It's a lie. I was just a boarder at Mrs. Sutton's. I lived there for 2 years. Slipped in the room over the garage and took my meals with Mrs. Sutton in the house.
When did you last see Mrs. Sutton?
Well, on the night of March 28, I seen the lights in her room. When I come home from work, get it? About 4 a.m.
You're sure that she was alive up to March 28th?
Yeah.
Did you kill her?
What is this, a frame? You're nuts.
Who did?
You're asking me. I don't know nothing.
Have you any suspicions?
No, but Dr. Westlake might. On account of he was keen on her. All the time calling her and taking her places. Ask the doctor, maybe.
Yes, I admired Mrs. Sutton very much. Met her in 1927, but I never crossed the threshold of her door until she got her divorce last year. I believe in observing the propriety.
Yes. When did you see Mrs. Sutton last?
On the afternoon of March 28th. I drove her to the corner of Hobart and West Adams. She said she was going to get a streetcar to the station, take a train to Ventura, try to get some back alimony out of her husband.
Why did you take Mrs. Sutton's furniture out of her house?
Well, I had a bill of sale for it. She sold the furniture to me.
Where is that bill of sale?
I don't know. I must have lost it.
Dr. Westlake, did you kill Mrs. Sutton?
No, of course not.
Who did?
I don't know.
Do you know anyone who might know?
Well, her former husband. She was trying to get back alimony from him, maybe he.
Why, it's ridiculous. I don't know a thing about Laura. I haven't seen her since we were divorced a year ago. No, I did not kill her. Why should I want to kill her? I had nothing against her. Our life together was over. However she chose to live her life was her own business.
Well, Simpson, what do you think of the fish we've caught in our net?
Yeah, a nice bunch. But they're all pretty clear, excepting one.
Who's that?
This Dr. Westlake. He protests too much.
I think you're right. You want to make a bet about him?
What?
I'll bet you he'll hang himself. All he needs is enough rope.
And 2 days later, Dr. Westlake walks into Captain Bright's office.
Well, Dr. Westlake, what brings you back?
Captain, I've got some very important information for you.
What's that?
Information that seems to prove that Mrs. Hutton is not dead.
Well, what is it?
This letter, here.
Let me see. My dear, what did you do with the furniture and the birdies? It's stored where? Is Mr. Black still in town, and what shift is he working? Please answer these questions in any of the personal columns. We'll see you soon. Signed, LBS. Where'd you get this?
This morning. It's from Mrs. Hutton, all right.
Oh, well, that's very interesting. What do you make of it, Stensman?
Well, she must be hiding someplace.
Yeah, that'll be my guess.
Well, what shall I do about it?
Well, follow the directions, by all means. Put the advertisement in the personal columns answering her questions, and ask her to get in touch with you. As soon as you hear from her, let us know.
Very well, I'll do that. I felt sure you'd know what to advise, Captain.
Of course, Dr. Westlake. We're glad to be of assistance.
Good day, Captain.
Good day, Doctor. I guess he isn't using up the rope.
I'll see.
Why, that old buzzard has got a guilty conscience that sticks out all over him. He must think we're correspondence school dicks to bring in a piece of tripe like that typewritten birdie note and expect us to fall for it.
If Mrs. Sutton's alive, then I'm really that headless torso.
Now, look, Stensman. I want you to get a couple of good men working on Westlake. Dig into his private affairs and see what you can get on him, and work fast.
Yes, sir. I'll get on it right away.
Deputy Sheriffs Allen and Gray are assigned to the investigation of Dr. Westlake's affairs. And after carefully obtaining their information, they submit it to Captain Bright, who asks Dr. Westlake to call at his office.
Thanks for coming down, Doctor.
Not at all. I'm glad to help in any way I can.
Yes, I'm sure you are. Tell me, did you receive an answer to that ad you put in the personals column?
No, I didn't.
That's strange. Possibly Mrs. Sutton had gone out of town.
Perhaps. I'm sure I can't understand why she should send me the note and then fail to answer me.
No, it's all quite mysterious. By the way, Doctor, there are some other mysterious things which have come to our attention we'd like to ask you about.
Why, of course.
We understand that you had a joint bank account with Mrs. Sutton. Is that correct?
Yes.
That account at one time held $700. How much of that money did you deposit, Doctor?
Why, I don't remember exactly.
Isn't it true, Doctor, that you only deposited less than $100 of that amount?
Why, I really don't know. I don't remember.
Yet we've discovered that almost all of that money was withdrawn by you, Doctor.
Well, that's perfectly all right. It was a joint account.
Yes, but it was Mrs. Sutton's money.
Well, you see, I can explain that. It's really very simple. It was this way. I drew that money for various of Mrs. Sutton's expenses.
You drew it for her expenses. Why didn't she draw her own money?
Well, she was trying to get alimony from her husband, so she wanted to conceal her assets.
Oh, I see. That's a very ingenious scheme.
Yes, and Mrs. Sutton is a smart woman.
I imagine so.
Then there's the matter of a deed, Doctor. What about that?
What deed?
That deed to a lot in Westwood.
I don't know anything about any deed.
Don't you? Here, look at this. Refresh your memory. This deed was made out to you by Mrs. Sutton.
Oh, yes. I had forgotten all about it.
So soon?
Yet this deed was only recorded the day before Mrs. Sutton's body was found.
What are you driving at? What do you mean?
Nothing. Nothing to get excited
That
about.
that deed was part of Mrs. Hutton's scheme to conceal assets. That lot, we're going to be married. We're going to build our home on that lot.
I see.
Then there's the matter of these 4 shares of stock belonging to Mrs. Sutton on which you borrowed money since her disappearance. What about them?
What do you mean, what about them?
How could Mrs. Sutton have signed them after we found her body in the riverbed?
You didn't find her body. She isn't dead.
Apparently not, since she signed these. How did you manage it, Doctor?
I didn't manage anything. She signed those shares of stock.
How?
Well, I had to borrow money on them for some business of ours, and the bank said they had to have her endorsement. I sent the shares to Holbrook, Arizona.
Why?
Well, she had some friends in Fallbrook, and I thought she might be there.
Was she?
Apparently. The shares came back from Holbrook a few days later, and they were signed.
And then she was in Fallbrook.
Yes, I guess so.
You're getting a little mixed up, Doctor. You've been talking about Holbrook, Arizona, and then calling it Fallbrook. Just what do you mean?
Why, Holbrook, yes, that's the name of the place. No wonder I'm getting mixed up with all these silly questions.
You were a little mixed up when you signed those shares of stock, weren't you, Doctor?
What do you mean?
I mean they're forgeries, very bad forgeries of Mrs. Sutton's handwriting, executed by yourself.
No, that's all wrong. I've been acting in good faith. I wouldn't forge her signature.
It's our belief you'd do a lot more. It's our belief that you murdered Mrs. Sutton.
No, I didn't. I swear I didn't.
First obtained all her property, and then you did away with her. You murdered her and dissected the body in her house and then dumped it into the Los Angeles River.
No.
Well, that's our reconstruction, and we're submitting the evidence tomorrow, asking the grand jury to charge you with murder.
You can't do this to me. I'm going to get help. I'm going to get an attorney. You can't railroad me.
Wait a minute. Not so fast. You're not going anyplace.
Why? What do you mean?
You're staying right here until the grand jury returns a true bill. We're holding you on a charge of suspicion of murder.
The grand jury returned a true bill against Dr. Westlake, and in August of 1929 he went on trial for murder. After an exciting trial in which scores of witnesses testified, Dr. Westlake was found guilty, and on September 17th, Judge Walton Wood sentenced him to life imprisonment in San Quentin Penitentiary.
Thank you, Sheriff Biscaloos. Ladies and gentlemen, at no extra cost to you, tetraethyl fluid is added to Rio Grande cracked gasoline. Because of the elaborate refining equipment needed for Rio Grande's cracking process, it costs more per gallon to make Rio Grande cracked. But it costs you no more. You get greater value when you drive into the independent service station that sells Rio Grande cracked gasoline with tetraethyl. You get the same gasoline that is now specified exclusively by the cities of Oakland, Berkeley, Fresno, Los Angeles, and by San Diego County and Maricopa County, Arizona. The authorities of these communities have found that no other gasoline on this market can give such speed, such power, and such economical operation as Rio Grande cracked. Why don't you use the same gasoline police cars use?
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. The cancellation broadcast 91 regarding an unidentified torso. The body has been identified and the murderer is now in custody. That's all. Rosenquist.
Read about the true detective stories on this program in the Calling All Cars News. Get your free copy at any Rio Grande service station. This is your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for the Rio Grande Oil Company. Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Broadcast 92 regarding a murder. Joe Masanaga, a Japanese, shot by an unknown assailant. That's all. Rolls and questions.
The Rio Grande Oil Company has received the following letter signed by Jerome Erickson.
As a petroleum refinery engineer, I have followed with interest your advertising of Rio Grande cracked gasoline. I am familiar with the unique processes used in your cracking plant, which are far in advance of those used by any other refinery. I'm glad to testify that your claims of the advantages of cracked gasoline are entirely truthful. In fact, I believe you understate the superiorities of cracked gasoline. But I do question your statement that Rio Grande cracked gasoline powers more police cars, ambulances, fire engines, and other emergency equipment than any other brand. How can you prove such a sweeping statement?
Well, Mr. Erickson, we can prove every claim we make for Rio Grande cracked gasoline. You know that our patented cracking process gives our gasoline exclusive advantages. In soliciting city contracts, we talk with competent chemists and engineers and induce these officials to test Rio Grande cracked against any other gasolines. The result is that the leading cities and counties of California and Arizona now specify Rio Grande cracked gasoline exclusively. So, Mr. Erickson, if you will add the number of police cars, fire engines, and other emergency equipment operated by Arizona's largest city, Phoenix, and its largest county, Maricopa, to the cars operated by such California cities as Oakland, Berkeley, Marysville, Fresno, Bakersfield, Los Angeles, and San Diego County, and many others, you will find that the vast majority of the emergency cars in the territory where Rio Grande is sold use Rio Grande cracked because it gives the best performance of any gasoline they can buy. And now we are privileged to present Chief James E. Davis of the Los Angeles Police Department, who has a word for you. Chief Davis.
Good evening, friends. The tentacles of the narcotic traffic are far-reaching, and the byproduct crimes of possession and sale of narcotics range from petty theft to murder. When our men face a narcotic case that entails Orientals, then the task is doubly and triply difficult. For here we meet the craft and painstaking attempt to avoid detection of a drug trafficker linked with the wily taciturnity of the Oriental. But the officer has two strong forces on his side. One is right, and the other, the honesty and civic mindedness of the Orientals living in our midst. The case you are about to hear was broken because the Japanese refused to be a party to breaking the law of his adopted land. Our policing job would be very easy if the Native American elements of the population broke the law as infrequently as do our Pacific and Japanese fellow citizens.
One night, late last April, a Japanese tanker slowly makes its way through the spring fog in the Los Angeles harbor. While the rest of the crew is busily preparing docking gear, two shadowy figures approach the stern, quickly drop two packages wrapped in oilskin over the side. 5 minutes later, a Japanese fisherman reclaims the packages from the oily waters of the bay, and in half an hour, Masanaga, Japanese dope runner, dressed as a gardener, rattles cityward in an old Model T Ford. It is still an hour before midnight when he knocks on the door of a house in Aliso Street.
Oh, you are late, Matsunaga. Speed is sometimes a traitor to circumspection, Honorable Kobayashi. I have merely been careful.
You have brought the packages?
As I promised.
You arrived none too soon. Fu Sing grows impatient.
Fu Sing? He who dictates the laws of Chinatown?
Even so.
Oh, so then I understand your impatience.
With him, on the other side of that door, is also the great Chong Gao. With two such men as customers, our lives from this moment on can be one never-ending succession of joyous ease. Wait for me outside. I will bring you your money as soon as I have completed the transaction. Honorable gentlemen.
I perceive the package has arrived.
It has. 6 ounces of morphine, honorable sirs.
We had expected more.
It was the most we could procure at this time. But there will be more, soon.
The quality?
Oh, the best.
You are sure?
I swear my honor upon it.
And the price?
$500.
500. It is not an inconsiderable amount.
Oh, yes. It is not beyond the reach for two such distinguished gentlemen who are satisfied only with the best.
$500 is $500.
Your venerable Lipo has written, for every prudent one who turns away from the lotus path, there are 10 who will gladly follow it. Others of my acquaintance will pay $500.
Tình của cha bố mà 2 ngày chẳng ngầu là 2 tháng công.
Bọn ở đây thì gọi lại lấy lừa cho chúng ta ở lương.
So, gentlemen,
For fine morphine, your price is fair.
We will pay it.
I was already aware that I was dealing with gentlemen of astute perception.
Here's your $500.
And here is your 6 ounces of morphine. May you live 10,000 years. My humble house is honored. Come in, gentlemen.
We can say what we have to say quickly.
It is not necessary to encroach upon your hospitality.
So, is something wrong?
There is.
Here is the morphine you sold us.
What is the matter?
It is of inferior grade. It is worthless for our purposes.
You must return our money.
Oh, but gentlemen, I cannot understand. I am sure the merchandise was of the finest.
You are not a user of Kabayasha. We are. Therefore, there can be no question which of us is the better judge. Take your morphine and give us our money.
Oh, I'm very sorry, gentlemen. I cannot understand how this happened. I have been the victim of misrepresentation. I was positive the morphine was of the finest.
It may be as you say. It does not concern us. We want our money back.
Well, it is not possible to pay you this moment. If you give me time...
How much time?
Oh, maybe a few days, a week.
You shall have a week. At the hour of the deepening shadow, 7 days from now, we will return.
Matsunaga, you have dishonored me.
Oh, how is that, Okabayasha?
The morphine you brought me is worthless. Chungao and Hu Sing have returned it.
Oh.
They demand their money back.
Oh, but we cannot do that. We did not know it is the Honorable Araki in Yokohama who is to blame if your morphine was bad.
Your Araki would do nothing. You know that. We must make good to the two Chinese. You must return your share of the money.
Oh, but I have spent much of it. I have paid the Matsu.
It is from Matsu.
Oh, but the Matsu has paid the 2 sailors on the boat.
Then he must get the money back from them. Let them return the morphine to Araki in Yokohama.
Oh, the 2 sailors are gone. The boat has sailed.
Oh, I hear enough excuses. You get me that money.
Oh, I will do my best. Oh, you would something to eat, Honorable Sir?
Yes. Very much. A glass of hot sake.
Oh, yes.
And draw the curtains of the booth. If anybody asks for me, you tell them you have not seen me.
Oh, yes, sir.
Save yourself the trouble. We shall draw the curtains ourselves.
Chongao.
Yes. Also, Fu Sing.
You seem to have been avoiding us, Okabasha. We called at your house several times since your week was up. You were not home.
No, I've been very busy getting your money.
And you have the money?
No, not all of it. All I could get was $150. Here, take it.
It is not enough.
But it is all I could get. Please understand, gentlemen. I am not responsible for this. I acted in very good faith.
Who is responsible?
Matsunaga. He delivered the morphine to me. He received it from the boat. He is responsible.
Then collect the money from him.
Oh, I have tried. He spent it. Oh, but $35. I have added all the money I have. It only comes to $150.
It is not enough.
I can do nothing more.
It is not enough.
But what shall I do?
You have caused us to lose faith.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Your sorrow, no matter how deeply felt, cannot compensate for our losing faith.
Our honor must be appeased.
But how?
You say this Masunaga is responsible?
Yes.
Then he must pay with money or with his life.
Oh, he cannot pay money. He has no money.
Then you must take his life.
Oh, no. I know murder.
You must save our face.
But,
It is very simple problem. You take Masunaga's life, or we take yours.
I have done my best. I am not guilty. I am a man of honor.
You must save our face.
But if I kill Masunaga, they will send me to prison.
And if you don't, our hatchet man will visit you.
Prison is a beautiful garden of cherry blossoms compared to the hot hill of a hatchet man.
And if you are clever, you do not have to go to prison. Our hatchet man, if his services are required, will not go to prison.
Oh, gentlemen, surely there is some other way. You are men of honor.
Exactly. That is why our honor must be preserved.
There is nothing more to say.
If Masunaga is not dead within 4 days, we will visit you again. Good night.
Oh, please. All ready. Tori Meshi. Oh, take it away. I'm not hungry now.
For 3 days, Okabayashi in mortal dread searches for Masunaga. But no one in Little Tokyo knows the dope runner's address, for while in Masunaga has no residence excepting his automobile in which he apparently lives. Finally, as the time limit imposed by the two Chinese approaches, Okabayashi, trudging down East First Street, sunk in desperation, recognizes Masunaga's car parked before a noodle joint. His decision made, Okabayashi clambers into the rear of the sedan, settles down to wait for his quarry. A half hour later, Masunaga, accompanied by 2 Japanese, leaves the restaurant and approaches the car.
It seems we have a passenger. Yes, Masunaga. I saw your car. I thought perhaps you might be driving near my house.
Oh, it is a pleasure to accommodate the Honorable Okabayashi. Get in, my friends. Get in.
At the corner of First Street and Boyle Avenue, Masunaga drops one of the Japanese. Continuing on toward Hollenbeck Park, the remaining trio travel in silence. And then as they are approaching Hollenbeck Park, at the corner of 4th and Cumming Street.
Get out, Moto, and help our passenger out. He lives in this neighborhood.
Arthur.
This is your stop, Okabayashi.
Please, to get on. You keep out of this. You got the money, Masunaga?
No, I told you I could get no money.
You refuse to get the money?
Yes, I refuse. I cannot get it.
Very well. You have had your chance.
No. Oh,
it is your life or mine.
Help, Mother. Help.
Shut up, you.
Help.
You are his friend. I kill you too.
No.
Come back here. Come back.
All right, Moto, calm down now and tell us what happened after he chased you into the park.
He was shooting after me and hitting the wrist. So, you see here.
Well, how'd you get away from him?
I thinking fast, hiding in bush. Then when he going after me in great distance, I taking off shoes and going to barber shop of friend, Kokomoto, calling you Christman.
You took off your shoes. Why?
Oh, not wanting to make any noise for him to knowing where I am.
I see. Now, who was this guy that did the shooting?
I not knowing. Never seen him before.
Yeah, well, you said there was another fellow in the car with you after you left the noodle joint. Who was he?
Oh, he being Matsu. Very good tuna fisherman. Matsu.
Where does he live?
He living near First Boyle, I think.
Come on. Let's get him out of bed and find out what he knows about this. You the boss here?
Oh, yes, please.
Are these 2 guys in here with another guy about midnight last night?
Oh, yes, sir. I think maybe so.
You know a friend of theirs by the name of Oka?
Oka? Oh, many Japanese have a name Oka. Okamoto, Okajima, Okahuro.
That's nice. Like looking for John Smith.
Oh, please?
Nothing.
You know Masunaga, don't you?
Oh, Masunaga. Oh, yes, sir. I thinking Masunaga were eating here with these 2 honorable gentlemen last night.
Well, do you know any fellows by the name of Oka that Masunaga hung out with?
Oh, not knowing for sure. But please, may I ask a question?
Sure. What do you want to know?
Is Honorable Matsunaga dead yet?
What?
Hey, what are you talking about? Did you know he was going to die?
Oh, I knowing nothing.
Come on. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, I not interfering in Chinaman affair.
Chinaman's affairs? What do you mean?
Oh, well, couple days ago, I hearing two Chinamen say to customer, if Matsunaga not dead 4 days, they kill customer.
You did?
Why didn't you tell the police?
Oh, none of my business. Not wanting to be killed by Chinaman too.
What was the name of the customer these Chinamen threatened?
Oh, I'm not remembering that.
Oh, come on. What was his name?
I cannot remember.
Listen, this is important. Masunaga's dead. If two Chinese told this guy to kill Masunaga or be killed, then this customer of yours is a murderer.
Was his name Oka?
Oh, I thinking maybe so he call Oka. Yes, yes, for certain. I hear Chinaman saying good night, Oka Bayasha.
Okabayasha? What did he look like?
Oh, I not noticing. I not wanting to be killed by Chinaman.
Listen, you've got to remember what he looked like.
Oh, I think maybe he have a round face.
Moto, does the man who ride with you have a round face?
Oh, yes. He having a round face.
How was he dressed?
He wearing cap, a gray sweater maybe.
How old was he, Matsu?
Oh, maybe so he living 50 year under.
How much did he weigh, Moto?
Oh, I'm not sure, but I think...
California Police State Teletype, broadcast 13 to all points. Be on the lookout for Joe Okabayasha, Japanese, 50 years old, height 5 feet 7, weight 185 pounds, wearing dark sweater, dark cap, fat, round face, known gambler. This suspect may attempt to escape by Japanese fishing boats from Terminal Island, wanted on suspicion of murder.
Well, Pat, how about those prints we found on the car?
We can account for all of them. They're either Masunaga's, Moto's, or Matsu's.
Found out anything else about Okabayasha?
Mighty little. You know, this case smells of dope to me.
That's what I've been thinking. I just told Eddie Chitwood about it, and he's working on that angle.
How about the Japanese colony?
What do you mean?
Well, they're self-respecting, law-abiding citizens. That is, 99% of them. When one of their countrymen breaks the law, they consider it a personal insult to their race. They've always been glad to help us. Why don't you call the Japanese papers and ask them to play up this story and run a description of Okabayasha? They'll play ball with us.
Good idea, Pat. I'll do it right away.
Patton is right. The Japanese editors are more than willing to cooperate in the manhunt, and their outraged editorials appeal to the Japanese population all over California to look for this renegade of their race and turn him over to the authorities. Several days go by while a Japanese attorney assists Hearst and Patton in their investigation. And then one evening on a lettuce ranch on the outskirts of Brawley in the Imperial Valley.
Oh, Naki, we're having visitor who come to our humble house. Your kinsman, Okabayasha.
I am not surprised.
Hello, Cousin Nake. Have you no welcome for me?
You are not welcome here, Okabayasha. You have killed a man.
Oh, even so. I am your kinsman.
You
I
are
need your
no
help.
longer my kinsman, Okabayasha. You have brought disgrace to our house.
But I could not help it. You do not understand. It was his life or mine.
You have come far from the old teachings, Okabayasha. Better to commit harikiri than dishonor your name and your race.
But, Cousin Nake...
It is people like you who make it difficult for the rest of us to live happily in this alien land.
Oh, I have no strength to stand here and discuss such things. I am tired and hungry, Cousin Nake. I've been walking many nights. I must get across the border to Mexico. Then they cannot follow me.
The coward's way lies in flight. The brave man chooses death.
Hear me, Naki. Will you help me to cross the border? All you need to do is drive me to Calexico.
I will not help you afoot. I will give you no food. I will do nothing for you. You are less than a crawling beetle since you have brought disgrace upon all who once knew and respected you.
Oh, what will I do?
I do not care what you do. If I were you, I would drown myself in the Salton Sea.
Oh, we do not look upon things the same way.
I can see that.
If you will not help me, I will find someone who will.
No doubt there are people in the neighborhood who have no honor, but you will not find them among your countrymen.
Brawley Police Department.
You had better send some policemen down to irrigation ditch.
Why, what's up?
Oh,
Well, what is it?
2 Mexicans going down that way.
Well, what of it?
Another person with them. You go finding.
Well, who's the other person?
Or maybe white woman, maybe not. But you glad for finding.
Well, now, look here. Hello? Hello? Hung up.
Yeah, what is it, Sergeant?
Some Japanese says a couple of Mexicans are taking a white woman down to the irrigation ditch.
A white woman?
Well, he isn't sure. He wouldn't say for sure. Probably a crackpot. But you two boys better go down there and look around.
Okay, Sergeant.
Then you promise to get me across the border tonight?
Si, amigo. Well, first we must have our pay.
Oh, I cannot pay you all in money.
Then it is too bad, amigo.
But I have 2 ounces of very fine morphine. It is worth more than you ask.
Huh? Well, that is different.
Come back here by these trees. I will let you sample this.
Well, I don't see no Mexicans. Do you, Ed?
No white woman either.
Yeah, wait a minute. There's somebody in those trees there.
A couple of Mexicans, all right. And a Japanese.
We better shake them down and see what it's all about.
Okay.
I'll just flash my light in there. Well, boys, what are you up to?
The police.
Hey, come back here.
They're pulling guns, Harry.
Let them have it. Well, we winged one of them. It's a Jap. You see where the Mexicans went?
No, they got away. This fellow dead?
No, he seems to be breathing.
I'll roll him over. Let's get a look at him. Let's see. Fat face, dark cap, dark sweater. Say, looks like the guy that's wanted for murder up in L.A.
Here's his gun. Spanish 38.
You better get the ambulance from El Centro and have the sergeant send his gun up to the L.A. homicide squad.
Well, Moxley, what's the dope on that Spanish 38 the Brawley police sent us?
The gun is the same one that shot the bullets found in Masunaga's body. See these 2 slugs? One's a test shot fired from the gun.
Yeah?
The other's a slug taken from Masunaga's head. Now, notice the groove.
Never mind
here.
the technical explanation, Moxley. We'll take your word for it. Come on, Pat.
Well, I guess that settles Okabayashi. The prints on the gun handle are identical with the ones we found in Okabayashi's apartment. And the description furnished by Brawley police matches the description we have for him.
Right. The next step is to talk to the guy.
Hurst and Patton pull out for El Centro, where Okabayashi lies in the hospital recovering from the wounds inflicted by Brawley officers when he tried to escape. It is a glaring hot May morning when they enter the hospital.
How's the patient, Doctor?
Oh, recuperating nicely.
Nothing serious, huh?
No, just a flesh wound. He'll be on his feet in another week.
That's just fine. Mind if we go in?
Not at all. Right this way.
Okay to question him?
Certainly. You can get anything out of him. He's a pretty quiet duck.
Oh, don't worry. He'll talk to us.
Hello, Okabayashi.
Who are you gentlemen being?
I'm Hurst from the Los Angeles Police Department. This is Patton.
For police? What for police wanting Okabayashi?
I guess you know that as well as we do.
No, not knowing.
Pretty hot down here in El Centro, isn't it, Okabayashi?
Oh, yes. I thinking sometime cannot standing heat.
Pretty cool up in L.A. Nice breeze blowing in from the ocean. I'd like to go back up there.
Oh, no. Want to go to Los Angeles.
But you're going just the same.
Why did you kill Masunaga?
No killing anyone.
Listen, Okabayashi, it's too hot to argue. We know you did.
Oh, no. Honorable gentleman making mistake. No killing. Okabayashi killing no one.
You're feeling too bad to lie convincingly, Okabayashi. Listen, you've been described by Moto and Matsu, who were in the car with Masunaga that night. You've been described by the proprietor of the noodle joint the night the Chinaman threatened to get you.
And we have your fingerprints from your apartment in Los Angeles, as well as on the gun they found on you in Brawley. The gun that you used to murder Masunaga with.
We'll prove all these things in court, and we'll send you up for murder. Of course, if you confess now, you might get a lighter sentence. Anyway, it's cooler up in the L.A. County Jail than it is down here in El Centro.
Well, how about it, Okabayashi? Want to come clean?
Oh, what is the hungry dare to do when Fuji's cone is white and the cherry trees are buried deep in the cold, wet snow?
Huh? What did you say?
Oh, I was reciting Tanka by Japanese poet, it having meaning of hopelessness.
Yeah, meaning that you're up against it, huh?
Oh, it's seeming to be will of the gods that Okabayashi is caught.
Well, looks like it.
Very well. I telling everything. I shooting Masunaga. I having good reason. It not being my fault.
And so Joe Okabayasha makes a detailed confession to the Los Angeles officers, and as soon as his wounds have healed enough, he is brought to Los Angeles to face charges of murder and assault with intent to commit murder. His preliminary trial is held before Judge Ellis Egan, and Okabayasha, pleading guilty to second-degree murder, takes the stand in his own defense.
Yes, I killing Masunaga. I am being guilty for murder in American law, maybe. But American, not understanding of the laws. Japanese and Chinaman, he have other laws. He have laws of saving face. Cannot break laws. Chinese tell me lose face. Me have to save face for them, or they kill me. They saving face. Very hard American understand. Very easy Japanese understand. I killing Masunaga, but not being very guilty. I having for killing, or I being killed. It is like Big Bear and Hunter. If Hunter not killing Big Bear killing Hunter. I not being very guilty.
But Okabayasha's ingenious explanation of the Oriental Code of Ethics fails to impress Judge Egan, and he is bound over to Superior Court, where Judge Tribuco listens again to his defense, winds up the case by finding the Japanese guilty, and sentencing him to San Quentin Penitentiary for from 5 years to life.
Thank you, Chief Davis. Warning to all motorists. Others, envious of the sensational success of Rio Grande cracked gasoline, are representing their gasolines also as being cracked. Rio Grande has the only refinery in this market which is licensed to produce cracked gasoline by the patented Sinclair cracking process, the most costly, most elaborate, and most efficient refining process in the world. It produces a gasoline so much livelier, so much more powerful, and so much more economical that the largest users of gasoline specify Rio Grande cracked exclusively. If you want to enjoy police car performance in your car, drive into an independent service station and order Rio Grande cracked gasoline. Remember, more police cars, fire engines, and emergency equipment are powered by Rio Grande cracked gasoline wherever it is sold than any other brand.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars, cancellation broadcast 92 regarding a murder. Suspect in this case is now in custody. That's all. Rosenquist.
This is your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night. Calling all cars, a copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Calling all cars, attention all cars. Fresno Police calling all cars. Broadcast 93 regarding a murder following robbery. Suspect unknown. That is all.
Tonight, Rio Grande offers free gifts to every boy and every girl. Listen closely at the end of tonight's program and learn how you can get these valuable gifts. Tonight, you will hear how the police of Fresno utilized scientific methods to solve a difficult case. Police in a score of other cities have also called upon science to determine which gasoline is the most economical and efficient for police cars. And in tests by city chemists, in actual road tests, Rio Grande cracked gasoline has given so much greater speed, greater power, and greater mileage than other gasoline that it is now specified for more police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and other emergency cars than any other brand. This is the same cracked gasoline you get from your Rio Grande service station. And if it is the best gasoline for police cars, it certainly is the best for your car. It costs you no more to buy Rio Grande cracked with tetraethyl added and enjoy instantaneous starting, faster acceleration, and police car performance. And now it is our great pleasure to present Chief Frank P. Truax of the Fresno Police Department. Chief Truax.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is with a feeling of honor that I bring the story, one of the crimes solved by my department, to this great radio program, Calling All Cars. Located as it is in the middle of the vast agricultural lands, Fresno is a metropolis for the San Joaquin Valley. To work on these ranches and in the vineyards and orchards come large numbers of migratory workers, seasonal employees. To keep tab upon these fellows who are here today and gone tomorrow demands a very special police technique. Faced with the necessity of such operation, we have evolved the technique. Added to the numbers of the floating population is also the complexity of race, language, and color. For we must deal with Filipinos, Japanese, Negroes, Mexicans, Chinese, and Hindus. Yet in spite of all these factors, our crime rate in Fresno is satisfactorily low, and as a great bulk, this class of migratory worker gives us little trouble. But there are exceptions. Of such a one you will hear tonight, and by the end of this program, you will realize why our problems are as difficult as they are.
Sure said something, Matt. That's the hottest doggone music I ever did hear. And this is sure enough swell fiddles you put out, too. I ain't never rested my eyes on pretty fair pork chops.
I'm glad you like it, Roy. Here, help yourself to more of these potatoes. There's plenty of gravy to go with them.
Sure must be nice to have enough money to eat like this all the time, Matt. Doggone, I expect it must be like heaven to just sit here and eat and play your phonograph. Sure wish I had some money.
If you all go to work instead of hanging around them pool holes all the time, you would have some money. Money don't grow on no trees. Boys gotta work to get money.
I wouldn't mind working, Matt, but I can't get no job that satisfies me. I ain't got clothes to get me a chauffeur's job. Now, if I had some money, maybe I could get me one. But I ain't got no money.
Oh, you all got that word on your mind. Why don't you go out and get a job at the pool hall shining shoes and make yourself enough to get some clothes? You ain't never gonna get nothing unless you do something for it. Time you get to be old as I is, you ain't gonna have nothing.
I've been thinking, Matt. You and me's been friends for a long time. You know I ain't exactly lazy. I just can't get started. Now, if I was to borrow a little money from someone just so I could get me a good job, then I could pay him back right quick. I was thinking that seeing as how you and me's been friends for so long, you might lend me a little just to get started with it.
And what'd you all do with it? Chase yourself right down to a gin mill and get all gowed up? No, sir, I ain't gonna lend you no money, Roy. You gotta go out and work for it. Then you can buy your clothes and get you a job.
No, sir. You was wrong about that gin mill stuff, Matt. I swear I wouldn't go nowhere near no gin. I just wanted to...
Now, Roy, they ain't gonna lend you a cent, so you might just well stop asking. You forgot the last bit I loaned you? You ain't never paid that back, has you? No, sir. You might just as well forget all about it and just make up your mind that you ain't gonna get it.
You all won't lend me no money?
That's what I said, and that's just what I mean.
Well, that's too bad, Matt.
What you mean, that's too bad?
I means I got to have some money.
Well, then go out and work like any other respectable person. You can't come around here borrowing from me.
You're gonna give me some money, Matt?
I just told you no.
Then that's that.
Yeah, where you going?
You're gonna see soon enough.
Yeah, what you talking about, Roy? You don't sound right. You all sound like...
For the last time, Matt, is you're gonna give me some money.
Yeah, what you doing with that axe? Go Roy.
Is you gonna give me some money?
Roy, you done got
You-
crazy or something. Put on that axe.
You ain't gonna need your money no more, Matt.
Get away with that axe. Help! Help! Help!
Police department.
There's been a murder done out here. I want you all should come here right away.
Murder? Who's this talking?
This is Clarence Johnson. Somebody done cut my father up and killed him.
All right, give me the address, and I'll have the homicide department out as soon as they can get there.
That's all I know, officer. Like I told you, I ain't been here in 2 days, and when I got here, no one answered the door, so I walk in, and there he was.
Does your father have any enemies? Anybody hate him?
No, sir, Mr. Officer, I don't think there was anybody didn't like my old man. Why, he ain't never hurt a skunk.
Did he owe money to anyone?
I don't know for sure, but I don't think so. He wasn't fond of borrowing from nobody.
Well, let's take a look around the house, Moran, and see what we can find. Maybe you'd better look with us, Clarence. You can tell us if you see anything that looks funny.
I sure hate to walk around in this house, but if you say so, I guess I got to.
Did your father have anything personal, like a watch, any jewelry or such?
Yes, sir. He done had a big gold watch he's had for more than 30 years. Carried it in his vest pocket on a chain.
Men find anything like that on the body, Jack?
Nope, there wasn't a thing on the body but what was left on the clothes. No wallet or jewelry of any sort. Obviously a matter of robbery after the crime.
Yeah, well, I'd give a lot to know whether robbery was the motive or just an afterthought. Help us to know what kind of person we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's not much we can do here. The boys have been over the house and yard with a fine-tooth comb. Not a sign of anything. Suppose you come down to the station with us, Clarence, and give us a detailed report on all you've told us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you go ahead, Jack. I'm going to stick around here for the coroner's report and a couple of other things. I'll see you later and check with you.
Okay. Come on, Clarence. Car's out the street. Gold watch case. Locomotive engraved on the back. No initials. Watch chain gold. Small rabbit's foot attached. And now, what else, Clarence?
Well, that was his wallet. I'd sure know that if I ever seen it.
What makes you so sure of that?
Well, sir, my old man liked pretty things. This here wallet had a picture of a gal on the inside.
A photograph?
No, sir, not exactly. More like it was burned into the leather.
I see. Was it just a head, Clarence, or was it a full figure?
It was the whole figure, Mr. Wise, with a lot of hair.
That's fine. You got a good memory, Clarence. Things like this help a great deal in investigation work. Now, tell me, do you have any ideas as to who might have had dinner with your father the night it happened?
No, sir, I don't have the leastest idea. I ain't been around the house for 2 days before. See, me and my brother, we live over on the other side of town and only get to see the old man once in a while.
You can't think of anyone who was a good friend of your father that might be liable to eat dinner with?
No, sir, I ain't got the slightest notion of anybody like that.
Well, we'll just have to work on these few articles that are stolen and hope for results. I guess there's nothing more for you, Clarence, if you want to go home. Keep in touch with me. I may need some more help.
I've been thinking, Mr. Wise, did they find my old man's suit in the closet? 'Cause if they did, I was thinking he ain't going to have no more use for it, and I could use it mighty handy myself.
What'd this suit look like, Clarence?
It was a brand new one, Mr. Wise. He only had it a couple of months.
Well, was it black, gray? See if you can give me a description of it.
Well, sir, it was a kind of gray, but it had a kind of mark on sort of a checker.
Checkered, I see. Gray with white checks?
That's right. You got it here, Mr. Wise?
Sorry, Clarence, but I'm afraid it was taken along with the rest of the jewelry and things.
Well, I guess that's that.
I'm afraid so, Clarence.
Is that all you want of me now? 'Cause if it is, I'm going to go back home.
Yes, I guess that's all. Oh, one thing, Clarence. Did you kill your father?
What's that, Mr. Wise? What's that you just said?
I asked you, did you kill your father?
No, sir. Of course I didn't kill my father. Doggone, are you crazy to say things like that?
That's all right, Clarence. You can go. Just forget what I said. We'll let you know if anything breaks.
Yes, sir, but I sure don't know what you mean by asking such a question.
Don't worry about it, Clarence. I just wanted to see what you'd say.
Yes, sir. Well, goodbye, Mr. Wise.
Goodbye, Clarence. You'll find the way out through that door there.
Yes, sir. Goodbye.
Hey, Charlie, see if Moran has come in yet, will you? If he has, ask him to come to my office. Thanks. A lot of swell clues to work on, I don't think. A watch, a suit, some remains of a meal, and that's all.
Hello, Jack.
Hi.
Got anything out of the boy?
Not much. A description of the missing articles. I found out one thing, though. The boy didn't kill his father.
Yeah, I was wondering about that angle, too. What makes you so sure?
Popped a question at him, and his answer and that look on his face was enough for me. He's not a good enough actor to be hiding anything. He just looked completely amazed.
Psychology stuff, eh? Well, if you're convinced, it's all right with me.
What'd you find at the house?
Not an awful lot. Had the boys take the plates and silverware in for fingerprints. Just a chance of something turning up, but I haven't much hope. Looks as though this thing were going to be a tough baby to crack.
I wouldn't be surprised, but what you're right, Moran. Well, let's get this description of the watch, wallet, and suit off and get the boys working on it from that angle. See if they can dig up any of these things. Cover all pawn shops, old clothes shops, and junk shops. Then we'll see what the boys have found in the way of fingerprints.
Checking with the Fresno fingerprint expert, Detectives Wise and Moran discover one tiny clue to the unknown visitor at the murder house. Johnston's fingerprints are found on everything from the dining table. But on a milk bottle found beside the table, the prints of a stranger are clearly shown. Acting on this bit of good luck, the prints are taken to the gallery and compared with those of thousands of criminals. But they don't match a single set. With this discouraging bit of information, the two detectives settle down to the long and grilling task of checking each small detail for some unnoticed clue.
Well, here we are, right back where we started. A nice flock of descriptions of everything but what we want.
Yeah, and all we know is that someone had dinner with Johnson, ate everything in the place, and then picked up an axe and proceeded to chop him down. Why?
Yeah, why? That's what the chief's been asking, and everyone else. There wasn't a drink in the house. Young Johnson said his old man was dead against drinking. Wouldn't have a bottle around.
You know, it doesn't seem logical to me that anyone wanting to rob the few things that old Johnson had would go to the trouble of murdering him. It doesn't make much sense to me.
Murders never do. Hello?
Captain Morell of Los Angeles on the wire for you, Sergeant.
Right, put him on.
Yes, sir. Sergeant Wise will talk to you. Go ahead. Hello, Wise.
Yeah. Oh, hello, Captain.
Got some information for you on that axe murder. Turned up a watch that answers your description in a pawn shop here in Los Angeles.
Good. What's the dope on it?
A fellow by the name of Jake Shaw left it a month ago, 3 days after the murder.
Well, that looks like we'll have to start looking for our man down there.
No, I don't think so. A letter came to the pawn shop yesterday asking that the watch be sent to this same Jake Shaw in Fireball, California.
Fireball? Well, that's only about 40 miles north of Fresno.
Right. It's up in the Cotton Camp district. There was no address indicated in the letter, just care of general delivery.
Well, I'll send Castellan up there immediately. Thanks a million, Captain. This clears up a lot of things for us.
Glad to have been able to help, Wise. Anything else we find, we'll shoot up to you again.
Fine. Thanks again.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. What a break. The man we want is somewhere up in Fireball, and he's expecting to get the watch in the mail.
Just as I was getting ready to throw the whole thing over.
Well, we'll get hold of Castellan and have him go up there. He knows that district, and he speaks Mexican. Get Sergeant Castellan right away and tell him to come in here. And you better tell him to figure on things.
His final instructions complete, Sergeant Castellan leaves Fresno the same day and heads for the cotton camp at Fireball, California. Arriving late that night, his first move is to put up at a cheap rooming house, being careful to create the impression that he's a transient, just looking around. Early the next morning, Castellan approaches the small post office.
Buenos dias. Is there any mail for Gonzalez?
Gonzalez? Well, now, let me see. Gerhardt, Crabhorn, Gallery. Nope, ain't a thing.
Senor, I wonder if you know a fellow up here by the name of Shaw.
Shaw? I don't seem to remember anybody by that name. Maybe know him if I seen him. I never forget a face, no, sir. But names, well, I hear so many every day that sometimes they just slip right by before I can catch him and remember him.
Si, senor. I guess that is right. Yeah, you have a big business here for a small town.
Yeah, biggest in these parts. Cotton picking time, I got 200-300 people getting mail.
I am staying over at Mrs. Kelly's for a while. Maybe I will run across my friend while I am here. If you happen to hear the name, let me know. I am very anxious to see him.
Friend of yours?
Si, senor. A negro used to work for me. But, senor, if you run into him, do not tell him I was asking for him. I want to surprise him, savvy?
Surprise him, huh? All right, young fellow. If I see him, I'll tell you about it.
Gracias, senor. Adios.
Bye. Next, please.
Is there any mail here for Robinson, George Wise Robinson? That's
All right, break it up. You're up here to work, not to sit around singing.
Boy, it's too doggone hot to work. Bad for a boy to work in this heat.
It's too hot for you, eh? All right, Jones. If you don't want to work, why don't you put down that sock and start working?
Understand it's a long walk to town?
No, sir. I don't want to quit my job. I just saying it's too hard. It's just saying it's hard.
All right. Then pick up that sack and get to work. I don't want to find you men standing around here next time I come out. You understand?
Yes, sir, Mr. McHenry.
Wait a bit. You are the foreman here?
That's right. What do you have?
I would like to see you for a moment alone.
Well, come on back to the shack. I have to come out here every once in a while and beat these boys into shape for a little work. And do they hate that word work?
I do not blame them in this heat. Is it always this hot around here, senor?
Always this hot. That's a lot. This is a cool day compared to lots of them. And gets as hot as 115 up here.
Madre de Dios. I do not think I would care for that much.
Well, here we are. Come on in and sit down if you can find a place. Not much of an office. Use it for a place to live, an office, and anything else you can think of.
Thanks. I'll come to the point. I guess you wonder why the accent. My name's Castellan of the Fresno Police.
Oh, police, eh? Well, my name's McHenry. I'm glad to know you.
I'm looking for a fellow that got into a little trouble down in Fresno, and I've got an idea he's working in one of the camps up here. Name's Jake Shaw, Negro.
Shaw? Well, Shaw. I don't think he's at this camp. I know the boy's names pretty well, and I don't think there's any Shaws.
Well, have you taken on any new men in the last month?
No, not a single one. Are you certain his name's Shaw?
No, I'm not positive, but he's been going under that name as far as I know.
Well, I'm afraid your man's not here. However, the lads are always coming up here looking for work. If any new ones come, I'll let you know. You staying around here?
Yeah, I'm board at Mrs. Kelly's place under the name of Gonzalez. I'd appreciate it if you'd check with me on any Negroes you don't know that come here.
I'll do that. Will you have a wee drappy before you go? Have some beer here. It's good for a hot day.
A glass of beer? Sounds like the answer to a maiden's prayer. Sure, I'll have it.
No, ain't no mail for Gonzales.
Yeah, I do not seem to have much luck with letters, do I, senor?
No, sir. That you don't. But I got some news for you.
Si, senor? What?
I seen the fella you're looking for.
So? When?
Last night. I was just closing when this fella come in and asked for his mail.
And he said his name was Shaw?
He did. But it didn't sound like he wanted anybody else to know it. He didn't look like he wanted anyone to see him, neither. I didn't like the looks of him, I didn't. I thought maybe he was up to something when he first came in.
What made you think that, senor?
Well, sir, he sort of just popped up from nowhere. I didn't see him at all till all of a sudden there he was standing beside me. Give me a start, it did.
What did he look like?
That's a funny thing to ask, seeing as how he's a friend of yours. You sure he's a friend?
Why, si, senor. I only wanted to know what he looked like to be sure it was him.
You ain't fooling me, young fella. You're a policeman, ain't you?
A policeman? Well, senor, what makes you think that?
Never you mind what makes me think. I ain't so old I can't tell the law when I see it. You are the law, ain't you?
Well, I guess there's no use trying to fool you, Pop. Yes, I'm the law. Now, you're going to help me.
I knew it all the time, ever since the first day you walked in here with that phony accent. Wanted to surprise him.
Hey, you're a pretty smart fellow, Pop. I've fooled lots of people, but not you. Now, tell me, what this fellow Shaw look like?
I got a full description of him. I knew darn well that he was looking for a crook or something, so I figured you'd want one. I wrote it down on a slip of paper. I'll get it for you. Got it in my jeans.
By golly, Pop, you ought to be on the force.
And that ain't all. I told him that there wasn't no mail for him, but that there was an early morning bus and that there might be something on it. He said he'd be back this evening.
Pop, if he comes back tonight, you and I are going to grab him right here.
What did he do?
He's a murderer, Pop.
Murderer?
A desperate man.
Well, now, according to postal regulations, I got to close in half an hour.
You're going to stay open tonight. You're going to talk to him while I hide over behind that petition.
Well, how about me hiding behind
Now, never mind that. Never mind. When he's not looking, I'll come out from behind and nab him.
As evening falls over the heat-racked little town, Castellan and his newly found deputy settle down to their well-planned scheme. 1 hour goes by. A few stragglers enter, get their mail, and leave. 2 hours. 3 hours, and no sign of Shaw. Impatient, Castellan is just preparing to give up the vigil when... You got any package for me?
What was your name?
Jake Shaw. Ought to be a package here from Los Angeles.
Well, just a minute. There was a couple of things on the bus. Might be something. I'll look.
Put up your hands, Shaw.
Huh?
You're under arrest.
What is this?
Put up your hands. Stand where you are. I got a 45 and it's aimed right at your back. That's right. Now keep 'em up.
Yeah, nice work, young fella. What do you want me to do now?
Say, what's this all about? What's all this here stick-em-up business?
I guess you know well enough what it's all about, Shaw. I arrest you for the murder of Matt Johnson in Fresno 1 month and 2 weeks ago. You mind frisking him, Pop? Take his weapons away from him.
Okay. You ain't got anything on him.
All right. You can put your hands down now, Shaw. We'll put a nice set of bracelets on your wrist.
I don't know what all this is about. I never heard of no Matt Johnson. You all got the wrong fella, sure enough.
All right, Shaw. It isn't going to do you any good to deny anything. You might just as well relax. You and I are taking a nice little trip down to Fresno. I have a feeling the boys will be glad to see you.
Taking his prisoner with him, Sergeant Castellan drives the 40 miles into Fresno that night and lodges him safely in the jail. The next morning, Detective Sergeant Wise and Inspector Moran, in company with Castellan, pay Shaw a visit in his cell.
Well, Shaw, you certainly led us a nice chase. It's nice to see you.
Listen, yeah, I don't know nothing about all this, and I want to get out of here. I never done heard of this fella that got killed.
What about that watch you pawned down in L.A.?
I bought that watch from a Mexican fella. He told me it was his.
How much did you give him for it?
$3.
Pretty cheap for a gold watch, wasn't it, Shaw?
I guess so.
What about the suit of clothes that we found pawned and hand put under your name? Whose suit was that?
I don't know. I bought that from the same fella.
Why don't you give up all this lying, Shaw? We have you dead to rights. As soon as we get your fingerprints, we'll have definite proof.
I ain't lying, and you can't prove nothing.
All right, Shaw. Deny everything you want to. It's just going to make it a lot tougher when you go on trial.
Let's leave him to think it over. And as soon as his fingerprints are taken, we'll take a look at him.
That's a good idea. Well, have a nice time, Shaw. I hope you don't have any bad dreams. You got lots of reasons to have them.
Turnkey, come here and let us out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. As soon as they print him, have the print sent up, will you?
Yes, sir, I'll do that.
Think it over, Shaw. It's not going to do you any harm to tell. If you feel like spilling it, tell Turnkey, and I'll come down and listen to anything you have to say. That is, everything excepting that you didn't do it. I've heard enough of that.
Confident that they have arrested the right man and waiting only until the fingerprints are compared with those from the milk bottle, the detectives return to the office of Sergeant Wise. There they are congratulating Castellan on his work when the arrival of Lynn, chief of the fingerprint department, brings them face to face with a strange turn of the card.
It's the first time in my experience with fingerprints that I've run across anything like it.
I had the impression that such a thing was more or less impossible.
Well, impossible or not, the answer remains the same. The man's fingerprints are so worn from handling raw cotton that it's impossible to get a clear print of them.
Well, how long will it take before you can get one?
I should say it'd be a month or more at best.
And you mean to say that we've got to sit here and wait a month before we can bring this guy to trial?
If his fingerprints are needed, yes.
Look here, Wise. We've got enough on shore to send him up, fingerprints or no fingerprints.
Yeah, and you know that gang in the DA's office. They won't handle it if we haven't got the final proof. And what's more, I don't want to take any chance of having this bird slip out of it because of lack of evidence. No, we'll just have to sit on our hands and wait. Meanwhile, supplying board and bed for our friend, Mr. Shaw.
Well, of all the rotten breaks, we've really had him on this case.
Well, anyway, we'll have plenty of time to break this bird story. A month in jail has a funny way of making a man think. Yeah, think about a lot of things.
Such as axes?
Where have you been? Where have you seen this axe before?
I never seen it before.
Here, take it in your hand. Look at it closely. Still say you never saw it before now?
No, I told you 100 times I don't know what this is all about. Now, I ain't never seen this here axe. Why don't you all leave me alone? Quit asking me questions.
Because we're going to keep right on asking you questions until you tell us all about it. You killed Matt Johnson, and you know it.
I didn't.
Then where'd you get his watch, his wallet, his suit?
I told you a fella done sold him to me.
What was his name?
Whose name?
The man you bought them from. What was his name?
I don't know his name.
Then how's it happen you knew him well enough to buy these things from him?
I don't know. Stop asking me these questions over and over again. I can't think with you yelling at me.
Sure. I'm going to give you a last chance to tell me what you know. If you don't, I won't bother you again. But I warn you, you're just holding things up for no good. I've been told that your fingers are practically okay again. In another week, we'll have your prints, and then you're finished. Now, what do you say? Will you talk or not?
No, I didn't do it. Finally, the day comes when it is possible to get a clear print from the thumb of Shaw, who still denies his guilt. Eagerly, Detectives Wise, Moran, and Castellan await the report from Captain Lynn. And shortly after the prints have been taken, they are compared with those from the milk bottle and found to be identical. The case, therefore, remains only to be tried in court. Days pass, and testimony after testimony is offered for the jury to consider. Shaw, still protesting his innocence, is rapidly faced with such a complete set of facts against him that it remains only for the judge to charge the jury. And one afternoon in Superior Court, presided over by Judge Struthers in Fresno, 7 men and 5 women silently filed from the jury bench to their chambers to reach a verdict. In less than 1 hour, the same 12 people returned to the courtroom.
Look, the jury's coming back.
Gee, I wonder what they'll say.
Order in the court.
Has the jury reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Will the clerk please read the verdict?
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree.
X-ray! X-ray! Jack Shaw found guilty of murder! X-ray! X-ray! Jack Shaw found guilty of murder!
Order in the court. Jake Shaw, alias Roy Parker, stand and face the court. Have you anything to say before the court passes sentence upon you?
No, sir. Only... No, sir. Nothing to say.
Very well. Jake Shaw, alias Roy Parker, it is the duty of this court to pronounce sentence upon you. After considering the evidence placed before this court, there is no shadow of doubt in my mind as to your guilt. Therefore, I sentence you to San Quentin Penitentiary for the remainder of your natural life.
Oh, Lord. Now for the free gifts which Rio Grande offers to every boy and every girl. To find out about these gifts and how you can get them all free of charge, merely go tonight or tomorrow to the independent service station in your neighborhood featuring Rio Grande cracked gasoline. Ask for free copy of the Calling All Cars News. In the big double-sized September issue of the News, you will read true detective stories, latest movie news, and you'll find pictures of all the many gifts for every boy and girl. We invite parents to drive their boys and girls to the Rio Grande service station tonight. Read this big issue of the News and see how you can help your youngsters get all these gifts quickly at no cost to you. And while you're in the Rio Grande station, fill up your tank with Cracked, the gasoline that gives extra value. Enjoy the thrill of greater speed, greater power than ever before. Find out for yourself why Rio Grande cracked gasoline is used by more police cars, fire engines, and emergency equipment than any other brand. Get police car performance in your car.
Calling all cars, attention all Fresno police cars. Cancellation of broadcast 93 regarding a murder. Suspect in this case is now in custody. That is all.
This is your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for the Rio Grande Oil Company.